What up, party people? Welcome to my channel. I am Erica, exactly. And today we're talking love during lockup, Dickmatized, season 5, episode 50 million. No, it's episode 56. All right, you guys, let's get into
I
it.
want a happy ending and tired of pretending. Won't let them get the best of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Give me a break. The game is survival. Give me a break and play my around.
Plan my arrival. All right, you guys. So I am back. Finally, I'm trying something new today. I am here through Restream because StreamYard is too pricey. So we're gonna do love during lockup. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's take a look at the couples. Okay, we're gonna start off with from the thumbnail. Let's get right into it with here we go. Kate, Hunter, and Kaleigh. Okay, I am team Kaleigh all the way, all day, every day. But who are you guys into? Who are you guys liking? Um, I have some photos for you. So in this episode, at least in terms of, wait, there we go. There we go. Here we go. Um, at least in terms of these three, Kate, Kaleigh, and Hunter. Hunter calls Kate and tells her, "Oh, you want me to get rid of all my sugar mamas or the prison writing women or whatever she likes to call them." And he tells her that one of the women put some money on someone else's books, basically to, give him the business up in prison. And I don't know, but Kate just gives me Karen energy, okay? I get that she did not want that she didn't want her I get that she didn't want, to pay all the money for Hunter. I get that. But her whole putting him on the site so he can, get these sugar mamas, and the fact that she thinks because she's not giving him money that she is better than these women, it irks me every time she says it. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. But Kate is like, "What? You're being threatened? How could they threaten you? How could they think it was more than you were doing more than just using them?" Because he's doing them the same way he's doing you, boo. Um, so he got 30 days added on to his sentence. So she thinks that it should be reported, documented, typical Karen behavior, if you ask me. But I do think it should be documented, honestly. But just her whole attitude be killing me, y'all. So, she's at the pool getting irate because he's being threatened, but he has to cut all those women off. All right. Now, what's interesting is when they cut to him in prison, he even says, him, the low down, dirty dog Hunter, even says, "This is my karma." Okay. Meanwhile, she still thinks she better than everybody. Girl, you a full-fledged pimp out here in these streets. How, how, Sway? How, Sway? How do you think you're better than these people? But anyway, so basically these two, so he has, subsequently also told Kaleigh that, 30 days was at her. Now poor Kaleigh, girl, poor little Kaleigh. Poor Kaleigh, she thinks that it is because of her. She don't realize everybody been showing him some. All the women been showing them his goodies. All of them have been showing, all the ladies have been showing him their pocketbooks in more ways than one, as they say. So they both Kate and Kaleigh decide to go to lawyers and the lawyers, sort of they're in different situations. So Kate goes to the lawyer, and the lawyer says to the camera, he thinks Kate should be thinking about the moral ethics of it. Now, if a lawyer has to tell you to be ethical, then Houston, we have a problem. Okay. Um, he didn't mention it, but I think the question may be, girl, you are an accomplice. You done set it up for him to scam these people. You have encouraged him to commit a romance scam. So, let her do 2 weeks or something. She don't have to do no real prison time, but just maybe a day or two. I don't remember if her attorney actually mentioned how much his fee was. I don't know, but we all know that Kate ain't got no money and don't want to pay for nothing. So Kaylee goes to her attorney, which I like. Shout out for women supporting women. I always knew you were a girl's girl, Kaylee. So her attorney is like, girl, it's gonna be $15,000. And you already spent $5,000 on him. Meanwhile, Kate is pimping him out so she don't have to spend no money. Okay, it's not a rocket science why he proposed to Kaylee and not Kate, because Hunter is all about those dollars. He's all about the money, money, money. So, um, yeah, he is doing the most. Um, so basically the attorney tries to kind of warn her, like, hopefully he's not using you. She's kind of like, I'll do whatever I have to do for love. I'll cut more heads. I'll do whatever I can to get him out early, if not cut his regular time. Kate is looking like, well, this is his mess to clean up. So I don't know. I feel like eventually Kate is gonna get her comeuppance. I do believe so. So let's move on to our next couple. All right. Let's talk about Tia and Rob. Tia and Rob. Here we go. Okay, so Rob is getting out. He and Tia and his whole family are there. It's a really lovely scene. And for like the first maybe 30 minutes, Tia is somewhat pleasant. She's kind of cool with the family. Everybody's getting along. Things are going great. And then they go back to the room. Okay, and she sends her daughter with everybody. So now the part I don't understand is they go back to the room, and Rob has invited, there's no kind of smooth transition between hanging out with your family and getting your freak on. Okay. They didn't think about how they want to coordinate this. Maybe the other people at some point, I think everybody is back. What, was it just me, or did it look like he was actually eating Chipotle? I was like, okay, it's got to be better Mexican food in Queens, y'all. I'm just hoping, but it looked like they were eating Chipotle bowls. Anyway, so they get home. Now she hasn't had none in 2 years. So she is man, I need I need a sound effect for thirsty. I don't know what it would be, but let's see what would it be? Would it be cuckoo? I don't know, but she hadn't had none, and that chick is thirsty. Okay, so I don't know what he's been practicing in prison because he hasn't had none in 10 years, but he works his magic, and before you know it, the family is knocking on the door. Now he says, I'm glad you got yours, indicating that she got hers before he got his, which then again brings me back to what was he doing in prison? But we won't go down that dark path. And and so the family comes back early, and that's the beginning of the Tia stank attitude, or the attitude problem that I would say she has. And so, even the poor dog, okay? Even the poor dog. although the dog's hair looks very nice. Who's ever doing his hair, bravo to you because the dog's hair looks very good. Even the poor dog had to be kicked out of the room until the family starts banging on the door. Okay. So then they have to rush and get dressed. Rob made it seem like maybe he didn't get none. Um, let me see if I can move this a little bit. Let's see. Let me do. But yeah, then there's this little towel over here in the corner. I know that that room had to smell like hot sex. I would have just had to tell my family to come back. Let's air out the place. That's why half of the people went on the balcony. I know it was probably a little tart in the hotel room. And so they get back, everybody's like, "How's it gonna be?" Turns out when he goes to Brooklyn, which I lived in Brooklyn for a few months, I didn't realize it's like 3 hours away because I thought or maybe it's 3 hours from her. I was just kind of like, "Is it 3 hour away from Queens?" I don't know. Let me know what you all know about it in the comments. But she's getting down because she only has a little bit limited amount of time with Rob and she wants it to just be him and her. He, of course, hasn't seen his family in 10 years. So this is always kind of a tough call, a tough way to put it. She was okay in the beginning. And then what does she do? They're all there talking and chit-chatting. And then I guess he must have really blew that back out because she goes and lays down when his family is still there, which I thought was rude as F. Okay. Like, girl, you ain't been in prison for 10 years. Just if this is gonna be your man and hopefully you have him meeting your daughter, you want this to be a permanent thing, then maybe stay around, meet his family, engage, and you won't be so sleepy. Just a comment, just a thought. All right, let's move on to our next couple. All right. The next couple is let's see, it's MJ and what's his name? Willie. Okay. MJ is that person. MJ and Willie, I should say Willie is rebound man Rebound, if that was a person. She gets so excited when her ex calls. She thinks it's so funny that he wants to get back to her with her. She, is out there in Utah to take care of her mom, which is really a sad and kind of crazy situation. But we cannot deny that she is enjoying the attention from her ex, even though she says she would always choose Willie. Willie is just sort of like, you know, a Band-Aid or whatever. It's not really curing nothing, okay? It's not like getting stitches. You're not having surgery. It's just a Band-Aid. That's all Willie is. Um, but she talks to Willie and she talks to her ex, like back to back. And then next thing you know, she's running from the cameras and she's breaking down. Okay. She's crying, she's upset. Oh no. I think I just as and I agree with her. I think she just wants the attention. She likes the attention of both of these men. I think to some extent she probably is in love with her ex, but she realizes like that he isn't good for her. But Willie, I don't know. I got to see more because right now I'm thinking she just ain't that into you. Okay. Because she's going to see the ex again at the end of this scene or the end of her scenes, and she's not going to tell Willie. What? Okay. Make that make sense. So you can cheat again. Is that what we're doing? Her brother comes so she can kind of talk things through, and she's so stressed. And I know, as you know, I'm a caregiver for my mom and it can be very challenging, so I certainly understand what she's talking about. So her brother, which you can't really see this, I'll make this bigger next time, but her brother comes to visit. Her brother's like, basically, you still love him, I don't believe you. If you go see him, you're gonna give him some. Well, he didn't say to give him some, but that's a given because you gave him some before ho. So but I like MJ outside of that. She seems really nice and cool and a really sweet person, but she definitely seems like she's still in love with her ex. And Willie, if you, I think if you stay in prison, you'll be straight. If you get free, then you gonna Houston have a problem. Okay. All right. And let's move on to our last but not least pimped out couple. And that would be Sam and Krystal. Okay. So Krystal is finally up for parole. Like this is her first time being up. And I think we all can surmise that Krystal probably ain't gonna get it, okay? Because Krystal is a full-blown scammer. Krystal and her grandmama is what I would say. So Krystal wanted Sam to come up that Sunday, right? But Sam is an EMT worker working 65 hours a week so that he can take care of both Krystal's books and her grandmama's essentials. Okay. Her food, her light, whatever grandmama needs, Sam is going to pay for. So Sam is working extra hours. He had a 24-hour shift and he could not come like that one particular day, which was the day she became eligible for parole. And I could see that Krystal would be disappointed. But also, Krystal, you spent all of the last money he gave you on Netflix. So, girl, let him make some more money. Like, what's the problem? So, Krystal does not call Sam for one day. One day. And Sam starts getting crazy. Okay. Um, Sam starts freaking out. Sam, he gets all upset. And so where does he go? Where would you go if you were upset? Well, we know where he goes. He goes to see Granny, Rita, to find out what's going on. Rita, have you talked to her? So, yeah, I talked to her today. I ain't got to send her no money. So we talk all the time. I don't have to avoid her calls no more. So I accept all her charges. So uh Rita tells him that I think Brittany, which is someone that Krystal dated in the past, is back in prison. So Sam gets upset and he's worried that Krystal might start cheating on him because she's mad or whatever. And the grandma's like, well, sometimes people in there, they're just gay for the stay. And Sam makes the best point ever. Sometimes they're gay for the stay, and sometimes they're gay for the gay. Okay. In this case, I personally, who knows with Krystal? Krystal is gay for the pay. That's what I would say probably is her issue. She's whatever, but who's ever paying, that's who she with, right? So in the very end of their scene, Krystal calls him. She starts snapping. She's going off. And it's like, okay, Sam, you got 7 years. How many hours? How many dollars? How long is it going to take before you get a clue? Um, so yeah, we'll see where it goes. But Sam is still Sam, you do better getting with Rita. Try spending more time with Rita. Take Rita on a few more dates. She might eventually give it up if you're a little bit nicer to the granny. I think that might be your best bet. But let why don't you guys let me know how you all feel about Sam and Krystal. I mean, first of all, I was like, why is Sam so freaked? It was just one day, but I know they have a schedule. I know it's a thing. So maybe that's what it is. But yeah, so that's it for Sam and Krystal. Let's go on. I took some photos of Jakeema, but I don't have them on here. And really, what happened with her wasn't that big of a deal. So let's see. Do I have her overlay? Wait, do I not have it? Jakeema? Let's see here. Do we have something for Jakeema? Okay, so Jakeema and Donny is the last couple we'll talk about before we get up out of here, people. Um Basically in this episode, let me find it. Let me see if we can do this. Do this on the fly, on the fly, on the fly. Okay. Jakeema Here we go. Here we go. Here we go, go, go. Okay, Jakeema and Donny. So last we found out, Donny got transferred to a prison that's like 3 hours away, and Jakeema gets the paperwork showing all these different charges. And one of the charges is he's procuring drugs, and he's sending these money, or whatever. And in the paperwork, she's named and her cash app. She is becoming a full-fledged accessory to his criminal acts. And he tries to tell her, no, you're just paying rent. And I'm like, girl, if someone in prison is paying your rent, where do you think they get the money from? Like, they only make like $2 a day. But he doesn't want to tell her the whole thing. She's upset because now he's 3 hours away, and her whole purpose of moving herself and her children were to see him more often. But on the flip side, girl, you might not have to see him more often, but sounds like your rent is being paid. So, we got to balance our necessities. But she takes a dance class with one of her friends, and that's when, because at first she didn't even know really where he was, and he can never really explain what's going on to her, and she kind of gets frustrated because come to find out, he's going to be far away. So we'll see what happens with them, and I'll do some research to see was Jakeema ever charged with anything, because girl, it's one thing to date a criminal, it's another thing to let him have you become a criminal. So, all right, you guys, I made it through my first official restream, but I'll be doing there was a whatever. We'll be doing Love and Marriage Potential later today and some other things. So comment, definitely comment. Let's get some chit chat going about love during lockup. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be true, be you, be great. Ciao.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out.